Hey everyone, Love Me is a new indie film starring Kristen Stewart and Yeun. This is definitely a romantic kind of think piece that sort of tells the story of our world through these two beings who fall in love after the collapse of the human population, basically. Before we get into it, you know the drill. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more and sign up to be notified about future videos so you don't miss a thing. Thank you so much. It's a real art house film. Love Me embraces elements of the real and the virtual world while really telling the story of these two intelligences that meet and fall in love in this post-apocalyptic romance. But it's not quite what you expect. Instead of people, the story follows these two intelligences, a buoy and a satellite, through digital communications they have. They meet, they fall in love, and they try to understand what it means to be real. At its core, Love Me is a cinematic poem stitched together with imagery and words that really explore self-discovery and self-acceptance. The film belongs to a growing category of these millennial driven stories, films that kind of dig into the nature of identity, solitude, and connection. It feels like an introspective journey and one that reflects the experience of being alone with your thoughts, navigating self awareness, and trying to find the meaning of who you are while living alongside someone else who is also searching for those same answers. If you've seen You're Cordially Invited, which is a movie that tackles toxic family dynamics and personal healing through direct communication, Love Me takes a different route. Instead of interpersonal relationships, it really tackles self-discovery and self-healing. At the heart of this film is the idea of identity, not just in relation to others, but in understanding and accepting yourself. On a related note, and I'm going off track just a little bit here into a book that I love, a science fiction book that I absolutely love. It's called This Is How You Lose the Time War. It's written by Amal El-Mohtar and Max Gladstone. It is gorgeously written. It's a sci-fi novel about these two rival agents, Red and Blue, from opposing factions waging war across time. As they secretly exchange letters, their rivalry just transforms into this deep, forbidden romance that threatens both of their missions and their lives. The book's poetic structure creates an intense romantic resonance between the two beings who, by all logic, they should have nothing in common. Yet, through subtle interactions, they spark a conversation that evolves into a mind-bending love story that is so uniquely crafted that I could never imagine it being adapted into a film until I saw Love Me, which is a visually cinematic poem that defies traditional storytelling, blending new media, artificial intelligence, and poetic imagery into this stunningly beautiful film that's constructed in this really new and different way that borrows from other films and other tropes, but present it in a new way that feels unique. And it really made me think of this book and to think that, you know what, maybe this could be the start of some new kind of forms or formats for genre cinema. If a film like this can exist, then This Is How You Lose a Time War absolutely deserves an adaptation. And that is a film I would love to see, and I hope some studio out there is listening to me. Love Me, now back to the film. Love Me presents the history of the Earth in parallel with the evolution of these two sentient AI beings, one within the buoy and one within the satellite. We see the Earth's formation, the rise of life, civilization flourishing, and then its inevitable destruction. A catastrophic humanity ending event leads to an ice age, and eventually the planet thaws again until the solar system itself collapses. Throughout these events, a lone satellite launched in humanity's final days continues to orbit the planet. It carries the accumulated knowledge, stories, and fragments of human existence with it, waiting for someone or something to find it. And meanwhile, on the planet's surface, a smart buoy survives the catastrophe and slowly starts developing intelligence. When it finally receives the satellite signal, that signal, it sparks its own awakening. This is where the story really begins. These two AI entities, one rooted on Earth and one floating above, begin to communicate. As they become sentient, they name themselves. The buoy calls itself me, and the satellite calls itself I am. As strange as that sounds, it perfectly aligns with the film's themes of identity and self awareness, and it actually makes sense within the story. Through fragmented video data, the buoy starts piecing together an understanding of humanity. It fixates on recordings of a woman named Deja and her boyfriend Liam, reconstructing their world within a virtual space. This digital simulation becomes the first home for me and I am. But they eventually realize that mimicking human existence isn't enough. They want something more. They want something real. A separation then forces them to grow independently. Me, or rather the construct of Deja, leaves to consider how its own identity or her own identity is kind of evolving. But then this darkness happens and she's cut off from the sun's energy, while I am remains awake and trapped in the simulated apartment. But he actually makes use of his time. He begins to create, manifesting these objects like water and ice cream, discovering his own ability to shape his reality. Eventually, the sun returns and me awakens and returns to I am to find him change. And they continue to grow together from there in their new self-made universe as the galaxy itself nears its end. This film is a fascinating mix of existentialism, individualism, and purpose. It does have some moments of kind of, you know, ups and downs, a little bit of clunkiness, a little bit of stalling out with the story as the characters try to figure themselves out. But really, it visually translates the process of self discovery, self knowledge, and self acceptance into something that's strangely and deeply moving, if not a little overly cerebral at times. While the film feels distinctly millennial in tone, it echoes that generational struggle of finding oneself in an overwhelming world. The themes are also universal. Every generation actually faces these same questions. Who am I? How do I exist in relation to the world? And how do I accept myself with all of this other stuff going on and all of these other people telling me who I should be and why? In that sense, Love Me is both ordinary and extraordinary at the same time. Love Me really is a film that demands patience and it demands your attention, and it also demands an open mind. It's abstract, it's poetic, it's layered with meaning. If you're looking for a fast-paced plot or traditional storytelling, this is not the film for you. But if you are drawn to artistic, philosophical cinema that explores identity and love and existence in an unconventional way, this might be a film that you want to check out. This is not, again, a traditional movie. It's an art house indie film that leans heavily into being a think piece. Because of that, Love Me will not be for everyone. Some people, they're going to love it. Other people, they are going to hate it. Some will find it boring, others will find it incredibly full of depth and meaning. It's a film that will hit each viewer differently, depending on what they bring to it and what they want out of it and what they enjoy when they go to the movies. It could work as a date night film, maybe a solo experience or something to watch with a friend. Though be warned, if you watch it with someone else, they may have a very different reaction from you. If you enjoy introspective, psychological, emotionally driven narratives and really visual poetry, the movie will be worth the price of a ticket. If that doesn't sound like your kind of thing, don't waste your time. Wait for it on streaming or just skip it altogether. And that's okay. It really is. This film is not about whether it's good or bad. It's about whether it resonates with you. So, love me. Have you seen it? Are you planning to? I'd really love to know your thoughts because it is a really different kind of film. If you like it, what resonated for you? If you didn't, what didn't work for you? Let's talk about it in the comments. This is one that I think will be a lot of fun to chat about. And if you enjoyed this review, you know the drill. Please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe and please hit that notification bell so you don't miss future discussions. Thanks so much, everybody. I really appreciate your being here. And hey, while you're here, why not check out one of these two reviews? In the meantime, I'll see you later. Bye.